you may have heard that Democrats are really going all in on calling Republicans weird. And it's fantastic because they all are, at least the ones that are in the media all the time, because they're obsessed with the weirdest, dumbest things and they talk about women in the creepiest ways. So if conservatives want to push back against the accusation that they are weird, my suggestion is they should not listen to the guy I'm about to show you. Okay? There is a show called Flashpoint. And if you're not familiar with it, this is on Kenneth Copeland's Ministries channel. And you could see from their About page, this show is tackling topics that mainstream media does not. So they're the alternative news, the news you won't find on those lame stream media channels, right? And so this week, the host of the show, Gene Bailey, he said that his next guest is a guy named Joseph Z. Doesn't have a last name, just has a last letter, Joseph Z. And he said, I'm going to show you a clip of this in a second. Joseph Z describes himself. Let me show you this. Mr. Clean here. He describes himself as an international prophetic voice. Not just prophetic, but he speaks multiple languages. I guess that's what that means. I don't know. But he's super duper magical, is Joseph Z. So Joseph Z was going to go on Flashpoint and they were going to interview him. And Gene Bailey says, listen, and I'm going to quote this, what we put on the air, we take very seriously. That comes even more so when it comes to men of the cloth and prophets. Like they really vet their guests. They're only going to show you people you can trust. And this week, they decided to invite Joseph Z because this guy is good, they said. They said this guy always nails it every time, and they wanted to introduce him to their audience. And so the first question Gene Bailey asked Joseph Z is, are you encouraged or discouraged by where America is these days? And that's a very softball question because, of course, you know what the answer is going to be. I know what the answer should be. It's like, yeah, I'm discouraged because of all the horrible things those liberals have done, right? That's the easy answer for someone like this speaking to this audience. That is not the answer Joseph Z gave. And his answer wasn't just bad. It was like cuckoo bananas insane. Okay. And I will just tell you, Joseph Z ended up talking about Tim Walz, and I will play for you this clip so you could see what he said.
Here at Flashpoint, we take what we put on the air, we take very seriously. And who we put on the air, we take seriously as well. But that comes even more so when it comes to men of the cloth and prophets. Are you encouraged or discouraged about where America is right now?
You know, even when we bring up guys like Tim Walz and you're looking at what's going on, people say he's, Midwestern folksy. I have another word for him, being from Minnesota myself, and it's weird. The guy's just weird. You see the way he hugs his wife, you see the way he does everything. And, it's interesting how the spirit of Antichrist just loves to pick these people that fit right in with the wicked overlord lizard mafia that is really driven by their goblin masters. And when you're looking at this, I believe that's exactly what we're facing right now.
Wicked overlord lizard mafia. I assume that's all of us. Coolest band name ever. But apparently Tim Walz, the most, I don't say this in a bad way, the most boring politician, the most down-to-earth, easy-to-like politician. He's secretly part of a wicked overlord lizard mafia that is driven by our goblin masters. Listen, you're not going to beat the charges of weird when you say shit like that. And listen, as someone who has been a progressive Democrat for a really long time, I feel like I would know about the lizard mafia and the goblin masters. There is nothing about Democrats that is as cool as the way Republicans think we are. Like, if there is a wicked overlord lizard mafia, it is news to me. I've never met my goblin masters. And the amazing thing is, Gene Bailey didn't push back on any of that. He just went on to the next question. Like nothing weird ever happened. Apparently, Lizard Mafia and Goblin Masters are just totally normal things to say. And these are the same people who flip out when they see kids playing Dungeons and Dragons or something, which is too bad he moved on because I really want to know more about my overlords here. And by the way, again, he said all this about Tim Walz. I am clearly Walz pilled. I like this guy a lot. He's fantastic. I didn't think Kamala Harris would choose him. I was delighted that she did because I knew as soon as he talked, people were going to like him, and they appear to have done that. But there's nothing about the guy that suggests he has a dark side. I mean, I just read an article this week that showed he doesn't even have any stocks. He doesn't have money tucked away anywhere. He's utterly middle class and boring, like as you would expect from a longtime teacher. So if he has a secret life that involves a lizard mafia, that would be incredible. Now, why am I showing you all this? Because I think there might be someone watching this who's like, who cares? No one's watching this show. It's a conspiracy channel. Why does that matter? It matters because you know who does watch this sort of show? The sort of people who have political power. Check this out. This is from Right Wing Watch. They found that clip I just showed you, but this is from a couple years ago. But look at what they did on January 6th. On the evening of January 6th, a group of Trump supporting prophets took part in a live broadcast of Flashpoint, that show I just showed you. And the Victory Channel's Greg Stevens presented as breaking news this claim. It's confirmed. The FBI had a busload of Antifa people come in and infiltrate the rally, and those are the people that broke into the Capitol and did all the damage. Like, no, none of that is true at all. On that same January 6th Flashpoint show, Prophet Mario Murillo declared he knew for a fact that none of the rioters were Trump supporters. Guess what? They actually were. Like, lots of them were. So this channel has power. I should tell you also that Donald Trump himself has been interviewed by Gene Bailey more than once on the show, but a couple times I think over the phone as well. And this show actually promotes rallies too. Look at this. This is also from Right Wing Watch. I'll zoom in here. This is from January of 2023. They showed this clip. The Christian nationalist program Flashpoint is holding an event in Florida next month to train right-wing Christians how to take over local school boards. And then Gene Bailey says, that sounds like we're trying to take over the world. Yes, we are. I fully admit that. That's exactly what we're doing. So this isn't like Alex Jones, InfoWars, crazy fringe people. These are people who are like parts of the Republican coalition. They have power within that coalition. And now you have some crazy prophet guy calling Tim Walz part of the lizard mafia with goblin masters and stuff. They are weird. That's the moral of the story. They're all weird little freaks and no one should take them seriously. And my goodness, I hope this election kind of convinces enough of them after they lose that maybe they should dial it back on the weirdness.